Good evening, this is Dr. Bill White again with the American Orthodontic Society, and I want to touch again on this step-down arch and how much it helps in treating cases. And this is a fairly bad case here, and the arch helps a great deal in finishing the case like you would like for it to be. Here it has quite a malocclusion. I mean, the whole arch is squeezed together. I'm going to run through it pretty quick and show you the main things we're trying to do. She's got two huge upper centrals, and the laterals are left over behind each of these centrals. And the arches are very narrow. They're not spread out like they should be. And so we'll have a lot of things to do as far as that's concerned. Now here we go. Looking at this side, you see the teeth are headed in, the cuspid is out. I mean, it just looks pretty terrible right there. And straightening this up, if you use these step-down arches, that helps a great deal. It's on the other side of it down across by. When you look at the palate, it is just real narrow, and you can tell she's not using the tongue properly, or you wouldn't have the roof of the mouth looking like this. So we're going to get in here and widen this arch out, and this step-down arch allows you to do that while you control you work off the molars back here to your anterior teeth and line all that up and get it widened out like you would like for it to be. In fact, the lingual roots of these teeth are way in here. The lingual cusp are lower than the buccal cusp, so you have to put some torque in those to to bring them out where they should be. All right, pardon me, I kind of got stopped up here this evening. Now the teeth are coming in, the permanent teeth are coming in and losing the baby teeth, and the lower arch is narrow also. Now here we come in, and this is of course doing back in the time when we had bands, no brackets, and so we line these teeth up across here with just a regular arch. You don't have to step it down, you don't bend it, but this arch you have to drop down or you will tend to bend it, and you can put pressure on it here to lower this if you wanted to, and you can intrude these teeth, you can expand them, you can contract them. You just have a lot of control over them, and the roots go with the crowns where you're using these step downs like this. It's a little excess length in these. I wouldn't mind being a little bit shorter than that. You can still do the job with them. Now this is the way it looks at. So we're working on these teeth up here, but we're working off of the molars back in the back, and we're letting these teeth erupt into the mouth. This is an excellent mixed dentition arch wire that is very helpful in that. Now we have got some lacing over these. You see this wire going like this on these teeth, and we can pull them together and tighten that up, and it squeezes the teeth together. But you've got two band thicknesses between the teeth and two layers of cement, so it's so much better with brackets. So let me eliminate that. Let's go now. The teeth are coming in. We've got the bicuspid and crossbite, another one and crossbite there. So we'll have to get them in, and then we can band those teeth. Now the upper arch, you can see the cuspids, we're lining them up, and this bicuspid and the two first and second bicuspids lined up there. We're going to spread this all out and develop the arch and get her breathing through the nose and then swallowing correctly, and this whole palate will change out up here if she's swallowing correctly. The pressure of the tongue tend to smooth that up. Now the lower arch is the same. Now we've got it lined up pretty good. Now the upper arch is still way off, and so we'll have to get up there and start some work. All right, we band more of the teeth now, the bicuspids and everything, and when we do that, we can put an arch in there that's expanding the teeth in that area, and that'll line that up better. And on the bottom, we're still using that step down arch so those teeth get erupted into the teeth properly, into the arch properly. Now the upper, we're going to have to do a lot of expanding with that, bring this out and get her using the tongue properly. If we don't, in other words, she's got a tongue thrust problem, and we'll probably have to re-band this tooth because that band is stopped too quick in there, and maybe even the other one on the other side, you've got too much cement. The band's not far enough up on the tooth like that, so you go in there with the Cavitron, loosen the cement, and reposition the band in a case like that. All right, this is 1974 now, and this is lined up much better. You see we've got the teeth, the level, the area of the teeth lined up, so it kind of redid the bands there in that area. Let me go back here and erase that. Now the teeth are lined up, the cusp of the upper are fitting down into the grooves on the lower, and it's looking quite good. And we've had some little hooks in here. We may have been pulling that way, or you can pull class 2 elastics off of those. But the case is looking great now, and it helps having that step down arch, where we can work on the front teeth and be working off of the molar teeth doing that. Here, this is 8 of 74, and we've got everything except the second molars are now. This one's kind of trying to get caught right here. You can put a big thick separator in here and push this back a little bit, and it'll come on up in the arch. That one, the other side is coming up good, no problem there. This is 8 of 74. The case is looking quite good. There's no problem here. All right, we did something and got that tooth coming up in that place, and we've taken the braces off. This is 2 of 75. This tooth will erupt, come on up in here. There are no wisdom teeth coming in, so these, or else, let's see, this is 2 of 75. This may be a wisdom tooth, and she just doesn't have a 12-year molar up here. So these teeth will come on down in the arch. I like to stay around until I get this tooth in, or make my retention come around behind that tooth like that. So let's see what we did. So here we're going to show just the starting of the case, and there is how we finish the case. And here the starting on the right side, and there's the interdigitation of the teeth. The 12-year molar is still coming in back here, so we'll make sure it gets into place before we stop looking at her. But this is the way this started here in 74, and it's interdigitated and lined up quite good at this point. There's the upper arch and how it is squeezed together here. And this part of the palate, his tongue just didn't put any pressure on that. And so let's see what the palate looks like after we've rounded these things out. And now you get a totally different impression of the palate. You see how it's not perfect, but it's so much better than it was after that. And then let that second molar come in, or wisdom tooth, which one, every one it was. And this is the lower when we started, and that's the lower when we finished. And this is the little girl, and she will grow up and be a much happier person with a set of teeth like that and that than if we had left her alone. So it's the orthodontics is it makes you thankful that you can help people like that. And I appreciate your watching. I hope you'll join our group and subscribe to it. We have a lot of people in this, and I hope that I'm teaching you what really needs to be taught and the way it ought to be done. And it's very hard to do this without attaching something to the teeth. And you can do this correctly, put her in a good retainer, and have these teeth straight when she gets 25 or 30 or 40 or 50, the rest of the life, if you get her functioning correctly. Certainly the tongue is doing a better job here than it was back when it looked like that. And that's the difference in here. We have enlarged that palate, and that tongue is fitting in there much better, and she can breathe much better. We've got a better airway too, so this is a lot of improvement over what we had. So thanks for watching, and join our group now, and I'm going to say goodbye and let you go. So see us again.